Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. I hope you all are safe and sound. Real Madrid return to La Liga action tonight and the team needs to deliver a swift response after the damaging Copa Del Rey defeat against Athletic. We demand better football from the players, and if we look at the points table we can clearly see there's less room for error. We sit top of the table with 50 points and Sevilla are just 3 points behind the Los Blancos. However, we do have an extra game in hand. So yes, Real Madrid need to come back to their senses. We have been on a very poor run. We have just had 2 wins in the past 5 La Liga matches and would be looking to improve that record and return to winning ways as soon as possible. So in this video we'll do the match preview of Real Madrid versus Granada. We'll go through the words of Carlo Ancelotti, and lastly we'll end this video by doing the match predictions. So come on, let's get started. And firstly, if we start by having a look at the opposition, Granada currently stands 16th on the table and stays 6 points clear of the relegation zone. In recent times they haven't been on a good run of form. They're coming into the game on the back of 2 defeats. It's also worthy of noting that in the past month they held Barcelona to a draw, and the month before they had beaten Atletico in their home turf. So you can see they tend to put up gritty performances against the big boys. However, it's also worthy of noting that Real Madrid have done very well against Granada in their previous meetings. The Los Blancos have won the last 13 games against Granada, scoring at least 4 goals in 5 of their previous meets. So Ancelotti would be looking to continue the winning streak against the Spanish Minnows. It will also be interesting to see what approach Granada will have in the game. They wouldn't be needing to deal with the threats of Vinicius and Benzema, as both won't be available for the game, so there is a chance they may come out to attack rather than staying back, and an open game is always appreciated by Real Madrid. But talking more about Granada, they have done very well after the early season slump. Robert Moreno has got the club in a good position to ensure that they sustain in the Spanish top flight, and they've also made some signings in January which include Dani Rabah, Alex Collado, Matías Arezzo and Petrovic, who should be available for selection tonight. The visiting team are likely to set up in the 4-4-2 formation. Victor Diaz and Carlos Neva should be the 2 fullbacks. The midfield should comprise of Alex Collado, Puertas, Ganalons and Luis Milla. And finally in attack we expect to see the duo of Luis Suarez and Jorge Molina. And talking about Real Madrid, this as you see is the squad list for the game. Marcelo has returned to the squad and Ancelotti has decided to include 20-year-old Juanmi Latasa from the youth squad. He can play as the target man, but is he just there to make up the numbers in the squad, or will Ancelotti look for an opening to field the youngster ahead of Jovic and other French attackers? We shall find out very soon. Moving on, let's hear what the coach had to say in the pre-match press conference. He had to answer questions related to Benzema and squad rotations, but firstly, while previewing the match, Ancelotti said, "I'm expecting to see a performance in which the team shows a reaction following the defeat to Athletic. We'll have to prepare properly because just like all the other teams, Granada will come here looking to play the game and will seek our weaknesses. The most important thing is that we react well, put in a good and committed performance and win the game." Then Ancelotti was asked about Vinicius Jr. The reporter questioned if it indeed was a mistake to field Vinicius Jr. in the previous game, keeping in mind that he didn't receive sufficient time to recover for the match, and Ancelotti responded, "I took a bit of risk with Vinicius. It's something you can talk about because I knew he was tired, but despite that, I thought he could contribute something. For the rest, I didn't think there's much to say because Casemiro and Rodrigo hadn't played much for the national team." Then the reporter went on to ask a question that we all have been asking. He asked Ancelotti if he needs to make a better use of the workforce that is there at his disposal, and Ancelotti replied, "It's true that I've often fielded more or less the same players, but there are some of them who haven't played much and were ready to play. January was a pretty tough month with the Copa del Rey, the Spanish Super Cup, and with the travelling for the Brazilian players. January is now behind us and we have to prepare properly for the upcoming games. I think we are managing the squad in the right way because I'm the one who watches the players in training every day, and then I make the decisions based on that." Then the coach was asked if Real Madrid have developed a dependency on Benzema for getting good results, and Ancelotti accepted that the team misses Benzema, but also highlighted those games where Real Madrid were able to grind out results without the Frenchman. He said, "We obviously miss Benzema, the leading goal scorer in La Liga. When a team has a player like Benzema and he's out, you can tell that something is missing, and that is to be expected. However, we have had games in which Benzema has been out, and we have still performed well. We beat Real Sociedad with Jovic in the side and Elche with Mariano up there, and against Inter when he had to come off with a problem. We didn't beat Athletic, but the way in which we replaced him before worked quite well." And lastly, Ancelotti was asked about the criticism that the coach was the one responsible for the Copa del Rey elimination, and Ancelotti replied, "That's true, I'm used to such criticism. As I said, I've got so much excitement and desire to be Real Madrid coach that I welcome criticism. It keeps me on my toes. Any criticism obviously makes me think more about things, so I am grateful when you criticize me because it keeps me on my toes even more." So that concludes concludes the pre-match thoughts of Carlo Ancelotti, and let's conclude this video by doing the match predictions. In goal, we should see the tall figure of Thibaut Courtois. In the backline, we may see Alaba playing at left back, but I'm also a bit inclined to think that Marcelo may be used there. As you know, we would be missing Vinicius on the left, so in a way, Marcelo's presence will definitely contribute in Real Madrid's attacking game. The manager obviously has to assess the risk and the rewards of using Marcelo, but as we are playing a bottom table team at home, I wouldn't be surprised to see Marcelo start. In the right back position, I expect Dani Carvajal to make his return in this game, and in the midfield, I think Ancelotti should take measures to rest at least one member from the KCM trio. We need to save them for the big games, but I also have a feeling that Ancelotti will again start with a Gala midfield, and if that happens, I would particularly like Casemiro to take more responsibility for his passing game. He has not been playing at his usual standards, and as we remember, it was his pass against Athletic which was intercepted and led to a goal, so I would be hoping that he can redeem himself in the game and give a better account himself along with the other midfielders. And lastly in attack, Ancelotti should start Eden Hazard on the left. This looks like the perfect game to hand the Belgian a start, and he could line up with Luka Jovic and Marco Asensio. So that, as you see, is my predicted lineup, and as for the scoreline predictions, I predict Real Madrid 1, Granada 0. And that is all I have here. Do let me know how you're feeling ahead of the game, and what scoreline are you predicting right in the comments below. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care, glory to Madrid, and as always, Madrid.